Hey, all you VC people, I'm TC Kirkham, the Kirkham Report. I'm here for latest shipment from Record Krate, another shipment from them. I still have some more coming. I always do, because Adam down at Record Krate has all these great sales every day or every other day during the week, and I spend way too much money at them. So I have a few more to go through and show off what I have. First off, this particular sale last week, he did some 45s, so I picked up a few of those. We'll start with those. These are really in great shape. I mean, I'm looking at them and they're terrific. First one is classic from Sergio Mendes in Brazil '66, The Fool on the Hill, which was the version of the song that most easy listening stations were playing because they didn't want to touch the Beatles. I've been after this for quite a while, and it's actually a double-sided hit from Ovation Records. It wasn't really a big chart hit, but I think it did chart. Gary Burbank with Ban McNally and his novelty song Who Shot JR, which is, of course, about the infamous episode of Dallas where J.R. Ewing was shot, and also the Tennessee Valley Authority with a song called Honkin'. Ovation Records. I've never seen anything but country music on Ovation Records, so I find that interesting. I also picked up 3 picture sleeves. I think I already have this after looking at the sleeve, but if I do, that's not a problem. Huey Lewis and the News, Doing It All for My Baby. Carly Simon single I did not have. A song called Tired of Being Blonde. I don't even remember this, and this is on Epic. So I'm not sure when she was signed to Epic Records. I knew she was signed to Elektra most of her career, and then Warner Brothers. So this must be even later than that, 80, 85 it says here. And a picture sleeve of this song, because I have the 45, but it's actually cracked, and I don't have a picture sleeve. Rex Smith and You Take My Breath Away from the movie Sooner or Later, which made him a superstar on television. At least I remember going to school junior or senior year when that movie aired, and every girl in my class that I was friends with was swooning over Smith after watching that TV movie the previous evening. It was pretty funny. Back to the albums now. A lot of multiple albums. I told you last video from Record Krate that I was picking up a few things from Lobo. I have the 2 other ones I purchased, and this one I showed the first one on the last video. This is Introducing Lobo. This is the 1973 reissue of his first album from 1971. New cover, same songs, includes Me and You and a Dog Named Boo and She Didn't Do Magic, which were pretty big hits for him. And Calumet from 1974, which features his hit How Can I Tell Her. Another addition to my great growing library of Warner Brothers Lost Leaders. I explained what they were last time. They were promotional sets you had to buy through the mail from Warner Brothers. This one is called The Works, and it features tracks from Rod Stewart, Foghat, Jimmy Cliff, Montrose, Tower of Power, Van Dyke Parks, Fleetwood Mac, Al Jarreau, Bonnie Raitt, Ray Wiley Hubbard and the Cowboy Twinkies, David Sanborn, Graham Central Station, The Meters, Leo Sayer, Little Feat, Commander Cody and his Lost Planet Airmen, Richard Pryor, Frank Zappa and Captain Beefheart, Ronnie Blakely, Leon Redbone, Chris Ducey, Black Sabbath, Todd Rundgren's Utopia, and the Beach Boys. Pretty impressive collection. And of course, the liner notes for these on almost the entire Lost Leaders series were compiled by Barry Hansen, who most people know as Dr. Demento. Great stuff. Bette Midler, another album from 1973, I believe. This album features her hit, a version of In the Mood, co-produced, and arranged by Barry Manilow. It comes with a poster of this particular album cover. Very cool. An OG copy of an album I've always thought about picking up here and there, but it's in great shape. 1972 or 73, Marvin Gaye and Let's Get It On. Who doesn't love that song? And also because I've wanted it for years, because I was a fan of the man and miss him terribly since he passed away a couple of years ago. From his time when he was on the Joey Bishop Show, 1968, Regis Philbin, It's Time for Regis! Oh yes, gonna have Regis on right now. This was his vocal debut. Of course, he continued to sing and perform throughout his career, usually with his co-host, Kathy Lee Gifford, and later his wife, Joy. It'll be an interesting listen. I'm gonna move these down. I had this album years ago, and I lost it somewhere, and I picked it up again here because I loved it. Sniffin' the Tears, their debut album. Fickle Heart, it includes Driver's Seat, their only big hit in the States. Great song, great albums. And now we get into a few where I've purchased more than one by the artist. A couple, first of all, by the Cowsills. This is We Can Fly, 1968. Remember, of course, the Cowsills were the inspiration for the Partridge Family. This includes We Can Fly, which was the big hit off this album, and What Is Happy, which was the flip side of their single Hair, which I don't believe appears anywhere but their best of album. And this was kind of a cheater, and I didn't know that when I purchased it. I don't think Adam realized it either. This is an older set of music by the Cowsills with 2 additional songs by the Lincoln Park Zoo. I would have thought the zoo would have sued them for using that name. This is on Mercury, and this was released to capitalize on the popularity of the MGM stuff. Next up, the first 3 albums I was aware of by Juice Newton. This is simply called Juice. And according to Discogs, this particular album with this particular font, hollow, what do they call that? Outline font, indicates that the version of The Sweetest Thing on this album is the countrified version. Solid block letters means it's just the straight, easy listening version. But the one on the outlined letters includes a steel guitar and such to make it countrified. Of course, this had a few big hits on it. Angel of the Morning, Queen of Hearts, and Sweetest Thing. And then she followed that up the next year with Quiet Lies, which had Love's Been a Little Bit Hard on Me, her great version of Break It To Me Gently, and what was the other hit off this? I don't remember. There was another hit off this, and I don't remember what it was. And her album after that, Dirty Looks, features her crazy good cover of the Zombies' Tell Him No, then in her case, Tell Her No. It wasn't the big hit. It should have been. It was her final top 40 hit, and she was terrific. I'm hoping the whole album is as good as this. Finally, I picked up 3 albums by the 70s pop rock group Firefall. I love Firefall, and I have a lot of their singles, but I never really thought about getting the albums when I was younger. And since Adam had such a great price on 3 of them, I grabbed them all 3. They were all great. Their debut album, featuring You Are the Woman, Cinderella, and Livin' Ain't Livin'. The second album, Lunacy, which features Just Remember I Love You as their big hit off this. And their 4th album, Undertow, which includes one of my favorite songs by them, Love That Got Away. I'm not sure, is Heaven With It on here? No. So these 3. Now, I'm not a completist. Melinda Murphy was talking about this the other day. I'm not a completist when it comes to certain acts, but other acts I like to get groupings of albums. Now, there are some acts I want everything by. Carpenters, Hanson, Def Leppard, a few other people. And I have a few where I've collected, over the last year, I've expanded a lot on my Helen Reddy. I have everything she did from the 70s. But I'm not a completist, but now I do want to add their 3rd album, Elan, which features my favorite song by them, Strange Way, and the 5th album, I'm not sure the title, which includes Stayin' With It, which is a great song. I have always thought Firefall was terribly underrated as an act. They never did achieve huge chart success. They usually peaked between 10 and 20 with most of their singles, and they deserved better than that. I also got a couple prizes in this shipment. One of them was this one. It's a little sticker Adam's presently selling, and he sent me a freebie of it. In case of fire, rescue my records with a place to list this. Of course, this is a parody, I'm sure, of children or pets or whatever. But for my case, yeah, good idea. The other one is another of his demonstration albums from the Muzak library. Music of the 80s, featuring Endless Love, Betty Davis Eyes, theme from the Magnificent Seven, which I don't think is from the 80s. Somebody got that screwed up. It's a Lovely Day Today, 9 to 5, Blue Bayou, also not from the 80s. Hey, Arthur's theme, Born Free, also not from the 80s. And Les Mauvais Numero, by various artists. You have, I've forgotten who did them all, but they listed them on Discogs. Great stuff. I love the beautiful music and Muzak formats. I grew up listening to it, so it's been a lot of fun. So, I don't know when this is going to get up. I'm still having problems with YouTube. I'm hoping it will go up later tonight, but if not, it'll be Saturday morning probably. And I am still working on my office. I'm not getting as far as I had hoped to this week while I was off work. Got to go back to work on Monday. But I made some good progress, and not just in this office room, but the rest of the house too. We had a ton of stuff we needed to get to the trash, and a few other things going on, and I got all of that taken care of. And tomorrow, I'm planning on doing my first crate digging trip in a long time. I'm going to hit a couple of different places. I'm going to check with Newbury Comics. Going to do a whole bunch of stuff that I haven't done. I have not been crate digging since the late 90s, in all honesty. Everything I've bought since 2000 has been, except for until Borders shut down, maybe, I would go there and get a few things every now and then. But most of the time, I knew what I wanted. I was only looking for what I wanted. I didn't have the money to spend on everything. Crate digging, I have not been crate digging through used records except for what I buy from Adam forever. And I haven't even been crate digging through the newer selections coming out. So I'm hoping to do that tomorrow to cap off my vacation from work and maybe add a few new things. So you may see another thing from me this weekend. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to reach 200 subscribers by Memorial Day. We have upped it by another 8. We're at 127, I think, now. Let me check my thing right here as I'm looking at it. When I can get online, which is damn near impossible. I would like to get to 200 subscribers by Memorial Day. Probably not going to happen, but let's get me up there as much as possible. So please let your friends know that I'm out here and point them my direction. Maybe they'll like what they see. I'm up to 129 subscribers. Also, don't forget to leave a comment. I love reading your comments. It can be funny, can be acerbic, can be informative, whatever you like. I love hearing from you. So please leave me a comment. And keep an eye out for all my new stuff, and eventually I will get this room done and be starting to introduce all these new things I want to do in the next couple of months. But until then, until next time, for the Kirkham Report, I'm TC Kirkham. Ciao, VC.